Hey, love. So, I wanted to talk about my dream that I had this morning, I guess. I had a dream about dragonflies, and in the dream, my oldest son was there, and a young man that I've known from previously was there as well. He and my oldest son were friends, I guess you would say. And in the dream, there were dragonflies all over flying around, and my oldest son kind of joked, swatting at the dragonflies. My children know how I feel about nature, and I was like, "Don't you dare!" And he kind of laughed. So I continued to admire the dragonflies in my dream, and then they began to come closer to me, and they started to merge. And I want to say it was about 6 dragonflies that merged together into this. I couldn't describe it, and if I could draw, maybe, but anyway, they merged together, and it was so beautiful. And you could see their wings flapping, and then they started to sparkle like a sparkler. Like on the 4th of July, they started to sparkle, and it was so beautiful. And I was just so overwhelmed with joy, and the colors were like radiant. It was just the most amazing feeling, and I was just beholding all the beauty. It was, oh my God. Man, I wish I could like project it outwardly so that you guys could see, but it was amazing. So then as the dragonfly started to the dragonfly cluster sparkled and all started to kind of fly away from me, kind of like just moving away. And the young man who was with my son reached for it, and before I could say anything, he plucked one of the wings, and I saw the wing in his hand, and then the cluster fell to the ground and the light went out. And I was like, oh my God, why would you do that? Like, I was so upset. I felt all of the emotion of that. And he looked at me, he says, "Oh, I'm so sorry." So I wasn't going to share the name, but I just got that's significant for somebody who's going to see this. So the young man's name was Trey, and it was 2 different versions of Trey in the dream, both of which I've known previously and known and had relationships with their mother, and no longer do, not for any malicious reason, just because, things change, and, people vibrate out of your experience for different reasons. But again, the name was Trey. That may be significant for someone. But so he had plucked the wing from the dragonfly, and immediately you could tell that he was sorry, and he welled up with tears, and he said, I'm so sorry. And I just remember putting my hands on my heart and just knowing that beauty that I had behold outwardly was inside. It was coming from inside. So while the young man was immediately remorseful for the action that was completely unconscious, no harm intended, the damage, if you will, had been done. And again, I knew that what I had seen and experienced outside of me was coming from inside of me. So I kept reminding myself, it's okay. What it really is not gone. They can't ever leave. It was beautiful, a great experience. But as I began to wake up, and I didn't jar out of my sleep and wake up immediately, I was hearing, protect your union, protect your union, protect your union. I kept hearing it over and over and over again. Protect your union, protect your union, protect your union. Now, normally I just journal my dreams and I share with a couple people here and there. Sometimes I do not, but I felt called to make a video about this dream, and I'll make some videos about my previous ones. I think this will just be a playlist. But back to what we were talking about in protecting your union. I've been feeling a pull to, I wouldn't necessarily say isolation, but just creating space, so that I can hear more clearly regarding the direction that I am going and the vibrational wavelength that I know is unfolding for me to have access to at this point. So I think that dream was speaking a lot to that, and it may be speaking to someone else as well. But as I was saying, protect your magic. We will have those around us who we love and care for, that will not understand necessarily that the things you do are vitally important. The things you say are important. Words are spells. And so you will have people that will do certain things and say certain things that will be contradictory to what you know to be true, and they don't mean any harm. But you have to protect your magic. Sometimes that looks like being completely misunderstood by everyone around you. Sometimes it feels like you're an alien. You don't belong here. But know that what you know at a soul level is true. That pull that you have, that beauty that you know exists, in order for it to be made manifest outside of you, you have to protect your magic so that when it is made manifest outside of you, it will be sustained and it can shine. Protecting your magic requires faith. It requires surrender, because in this human form and in this human experience, our relationships are normally attachments that we have a really hard time relinquishing. But in that detachment, there's freedom, and we'll save that for another video. But it is really important that you surrender to the flow of the universe, surrender to your higher self, surrender to the unknown in order to experience the magic. And like I said before, allowing that magic and that light to shine is the beacon for everyone else to follow along if they so choose. But your staying behind and dimming your light does not serve anyone. And like my dream was pointing, I think, to not protecting that magic and allowing certain space to be penetrated by those who do not understand that magic could ultimately forfeit it. So, again, protect your magic at all costs. The paradox to allowing things and people to fall away, to surrendering, to just being, is that, again, as you allow your light to shine, as you protect that magic that has been gifted to you, all those that align and that are supposed to be there will be there. We just have to let go of the idea of separation, the illusion of separation. You are not separate from your children. You are not separate from your significant other. You are not separate from anything. And as you surrender all those things that are inside of you, the love you have for those around you will be projected outside of you in a whole new way. Protect your magic. If this resonates with you at all, please let me know. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll be sharing more as it comes. And just remember to protect your magic. You are magical. I am magical. We are magical. And it is worth protecting at all costs. there is a beautiful, amazing shift taking place. And I think that that dream was pointing to that for me and for you. Um, the beauty and the magic that we are able to behold now, and there's even more to come. But the only way that we're going to fully experience it is to protect it. And those who do not align, don't align.